When the Emancipation Proclamation took effect on January 1st, 1863, it did free some enslaved people. It freed the enslaved people from the Winchester-Berryville area to the Potomac River, the areas of Virginia the Union Army occupied and controlled. The Northern Shenandoah Valley in 1863 and throughout most of the war was a contested area. Enslaved individuals, residents, and partisans on both sides measured their actions with caution based on their judgment of the situation in their specific area. Locations today that are a few minutes automobile drive or half or full day's walk, what you said and who you said it to could have severe consequences. Complicating the situation even more than the occupations of the major armies were the operations of partisans, irregular military forces formed to resist control of an area by an occupying military. Both the Union and Confederate armies had partisans. This is the story about one Confederate unit's leader, Andrew Leopold. Confederate raiders, cavalry troops meant to steal supplies and generally harass enemy forces, were also operating in the Northern Shenandoah Valley area. One Confederate raider operating in the Shepherdstown, Winchester-Berryville area was a Confederate raider named Andrew Leopold. Leopold, aka Leipold, operated from the Shepherdstown area, now West Virginia, to Berryville, Virginia. In 1862, after the Partisan Ranger Act was passed by the Confederate Congress, raiders like Leopold started operating in the name of the Confederate Cause. Leopold's job for the Confederate Cause was to find conscripts, carry mail between homes and soldiers, steal horses, and watch the movements of the Federal Army. Leopold, in carrying mail, is also enabled to determine the names of and the whereabouts of able-bodied men not listed in his Confederate Army, such as Jacob Hudson and Charles Entler. On April 21, 1862, the Confederate Congress passed the Partisan Ranger Act. The law was intended as a stimulus for recruitment of irregulars for service into the Confederate States Army during the American Civil War. The act reads as follows. Section 1. The Congress of the Confederate States of America do enact that the President be and he is hereby authorized to commission such officers as he may deem proper with authority to form bands of partisan rangers in companies, battalions, or regiments to be composed of such members as the President may approve. Section 2. Be it further enacted that such partisan rangers, after being regularly received in the service, shall be entitled to the same pay, rations, and quarters during the term of service, and be subject to the same regulations as other soldiers. Section 3. Be it further enacted that for any arms and munitions of war captured from the enemy by any body of partisan rangers and delivered to any quartermaster at such place or places may be designated by a commanding general, the rangers shall be paid their full value in such manner as the Secretary of War may prescribe. The effectiveness of Leopold in gaining supplies and conscripts for the Confederate cause is unclear. This is part 1 of a 3-part story. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you know when the rest of this story and all of our new content is released. We hope you find your guiding star.